Enseye bitwaso yemfa okroye ne no. Today, our summary, part 2 for chieftaincy and development is very simple. We said last time that the Chieftaincy Act, the chieftaincy institution is backed by law. And because of that, we have the National House of Chiefs. The National House of Chiefs is like, if it is countries, we say United Nations or Conference of Presidents. Or United Nations General Assembly. When it comes to our jurisdiction, we are talking about the headquarters of where chieftaincy must reason, must come together and reason together, must plan together and see how the nation can develop traditionally. So we have what we call the National House of Chiefs, and their work is like the Supreme Court. They supervise over issues. This is how it's, apart from the National House of Chiefs, which is for the entire country, we also have the Regional House of Chiefs. That's within each region is the Chieftaincy Secretariat. And then under the Regional House of Chiefs is the Traditional Council. That's why in this country, Ghana, we even have minister in charge of chieftaincy affairs. That person is the one between the chieftaincy institutions in the country and the political leaders of the country. How do they function? In the country, if there is any issue which is traditional by nature, it will be resolved in the house. If it is difficult to resolve in the house, to be resolved in the house, it is sent to the elder of the family or the family leader called Abusuapani. He will sit the members of the family together, down, and then try to resolve it. If it doesn't work, they will take it to the sub-chief or the chief to resolve it. If it is beyond the chief, it will be taken to the Traditional Council, where the paramount chief is the head, the chief judge, and he will make sure that those things are resolved. If it is beyond the paramount chief, normally it goes beyond the paramount chief when one side, it's a chieftaincy issue, where maybe if the paramount chief do not take care, he will be assumed to be a part of it. Then he will take it to the Regional Council of Chiefs. It will be resolved there. But if it is beyond them, maybe one part is in one region and the other part is in the other region, and all not under one paramount chief jurisdiction, then it will be taken to the National House of Chiefs. Beyond the National House of Chiefs, the only place that it should be is the Supreme Court. But all chieftaincy issues, most of them, let me say, most of them ends within the chieftaincy institution. Issues regarding chieftaincy, disputes or chieftaincy issues normally ends with the chieftaincy departments. So that is how they work. And all that they do is backed by law. Let's quickly look at Akan chieftaincy system. Let me be specific there. When we say accounts, what are we talking about? In Chief, say Akan 4. These are the tribes. I may not mention all, but some of them. Bono people. The people of Bono. I didn't say Bono Ahaf. The people of Bono. Bono people. The Asantes. Achims. Kwos. Equiapins. Asin. Nzima. Ahanta. Akwemu. Fanti. Sefi. Wasa. Dentra. Adanse, and the rest. These are the accounts. Let me say, and few more. These are the accounts. They have their states, they have their towns, they have their chiefs. The accounts have something similar. They have a word like messe. Messe. They greet from right to left. They sit on stools. They have queen mothers. You know, Akans believe that God created a man and a woman. And the woman helps the man to do everything and make things become successful. And therefore, they have in every town or village, they have the king and the queen mother, or the chief and the queen mother. So when you go to the accounts, as I said, they have several paramount chiefs. And as I repeated previously, when you come to the Asanteman, the Asantes, they have the Asantehene. And under the Asantehene are the paramount chiefs. Then we have chiefs, we have the sub-chiefs, which we say Odikuro 4. The paramount chief is Omaihene. The chiefs are Abrempong. And then we have the sub-chiefs, which is Odikuro 4. Paramouncies have been established long ago. It's not just recently, just that new one has been created. Some of them were not paramouncies, but have been lifted into paramouncy. For example, when you go to Asante Kingdom, the Asante has the power to raise some of the Abrempong to become paramount chiefs. Why? When they look at historic background, that when they were going for this war, their chief was part. When they were doing this, their chief was part. It means he has been with us all this while. Then why don't we raise his status? Because he has been doing what we were also doing. Similarly, a paramount chief can raise one of the Abrempong or the chiefs. So one of the sub-chiefs to become Abrempong. Because if they realize what the role that town or village has been playing in their history, they can easily do that, and it is within their range. There are some things that I can't believe. They believe in the existence of supreme being called God. I can't. They believe. That's why they call Onyame, Onyankropon, Onyankropon, Kwame. The accounts used to call God that. They believe that there is a creator of the universe. And to the accounts, they believed because of where they descended from. In fact, historical history or historical background shows that Akans are among the tribes or the people that descended from the old, now Middle East. I mean, where the Jews, the Hebrews were. So they are part of the Hebrew community that descended. So they believed in what the Hebrews believed. They believe in what the Hebrews believed. So they call God Otwediampon Kwame, knowing that he is the God of Saturday, which some people will say the God of the Sabbath, because that is what is written in the Bible. They believed in that. That is why when the whites came and they brought Christianity and they were preaching and people were going to church, they were going to church on Sunday, the account said, you are Akwesi Bruni because you have brought something which is strange to us. The accounts also eat with their right hand. If you are an Akan and you do not eat with your right hand, you are uncultured. They greet with their right hand. When speaking, they use their right hand to point at things or emphasize some points. They use their right hand. So if you are an Akan and you use your left hand to do gestures, they don't take you to be an Akan. When shaking hands, as I said, with a group of people, they start from right to left. That is anti-clockwise way. And most of the Akans practice matrilineal form of inheritance. So you can become a chief if your mother is a royal. If your father is a royal, you are not a royal. Even though there are some places that they have stools for the sons of the royals. But so far as that stool that your father is occupying is concerned, you are not part of those who can inherit. So Akans do matrilineal inheritance. The Akans have clans we call Abusuya or Ntong. The clans we have Oyokwo, Asuna, Adriana, Ekwona, Asinie, Bretu, Asechri, and Agona. Now every stool has a clan that occupies it. People belonging to one clan believed to have come from or originated from one woman and therefore cannot intermarry. For example, I am an Ekwona. I'm forbidden to marry an Ekwona because anybody who is Ekwona is said to be your sister. Oyokwo should not marry Oyokwo. Asinie should not marry an Asinie. And that is how it has been till now. Just that nowadays, some people do not take those traditions, which are very important, seriously. And they meet anybody somewhere, anywhere. They don't even ask. And then before they realize, it has become something, which is very bad. Chieftaincy is officially accepted. So as we said, they have paramount accounts, have paramount chiefs, and then sub-chiefs. So, who are those sub-chiefs that we can get? Apart from the Omaihene, we can have Kronti-hene. There is one called Kronti-hene. That was established because of what? A Kronti. And we also have Akwemu stew. Kronti and Akwemu are the leaders when it comes to war. They lead the war. Then, but before the Kronti and Akwemu take the steps ahead, there is one chief who is ahead of them. That chief goes and creates the path which they will use. They search for where the enemies are. And that one is Trafor-hene. Trafor-hene. After that, Kronti and Akwemu will follow. Then the main body, where the paramount chief will be, will also follow. That is Adonting. Adonting, the chief Adonting-hene and his entourage. Within them, the paramount chief will also be part of it. To the right side of the paramount chief is the Nifa people, Nifa-hene and his people. To the left side of the paramount chief is the Benkum-hene and his people. Then, behind the paramount chief, behind the Adonting group, is the Chidom, the one who protects, the chief and his people who protects the back of the paramount chief. You know, in the olden days, when your paramount chief is conquered, it means you are conquered during war. Or when your chief is conquered, it means you have been conquered. So always you protect your chief. So we have the Chidom. Then we have those at home guarding the young ones, the women, and the aged. We call that one Ankobia-hene. Ankobia-hene is the home guard. So, as I said, we also have Mawere-hene. It's like interior minister, or where Omai, your guide, like he's the interior minister of the state traditional council. We have the Sana-hene, who is in charge of the treasury, the ornaments and those things. When you go to the Ashantis, within the Chidom group, there is one very, very important. For that one, it is the son of the Santehene. And his is called Achempemhene. He is in charge of the shells, Echempem. Or Echempapem, let me say so. So he's in charge. He protects the paramount chief. If you the Santehene, if you are the Santehene and your son will allow someone to come from behind to attack you, then so he's the one who protects from behind. He's within the Chidom group. We have several of them. We have Nsumankwa-hene, who is in charge of oracles. There are several of them. There are also some titles which came in just recently. They are not royals. For example, Nkoswahene. Nkoswahene is not a royal. He might be someone who has stayed there in the state. And because the chief has seen that he is actually helping in terms of developments. So you are the chief in charge of what? Developments. People should look after you to do as you are also doing. We have the fetish priests who are in charge. In fact, the Nsumankwa-hene is also a fetish priest. He is the head. We also have Grantuahene, the chief, in which when someone is in trouble, will go to and plead for clemency. We also have, there are several of them. We also have the linguists, that's our Chami. They are like what spokesperson for the chief. So when a chief is going to a Durbar or somewhere like that, we have all these chiefs with him. In our Kan tradition, we also have stew wife. There is a stew wife. No matter whether a chief is married or not, when installed, he will be given a wife from a specific house. It was obligatory, but now it is no more. But there are some places it is by force, obligatory. Some places too, you are at liberty to choose whether you go in for it or not. All these people and others I did not mention are those that help the chief or the paramount chief together with the elders from the families and the elders of the town are those who contribute to the development of the state. Thank you. We'll meet for the third one.